What's going on, y'all? I hope you like the new intro. I have 3 stories I want to talk about today. The first story is Bob Johnson, the BET founder, came out recently as somebody who, according to CNBC, supported Hillary Clinton, is a longtime centrist Democrat. He said that the Democratic Party has moved too far left for him, and I know millions of people feel this way as well, and we're sick and tired of mainstream media trying to attack us and demonize us for their own shortcomings and the fact that they can't identify like we can, that whatever's going on the Democratic side is not for us. So we're going to talk about Bob Johnson for a little bit, about founder of BET. Second story I want to talk about is a human skull was recently found in Greece, and it changes our entire understanding of what we thought we knew about human history and how we moved along the continents. I wanted to highlight this story to explain how, science isn't always settled, historical context isn't always settled, and we're learning more every single day about Earth, humans, animals, and the entire, existence. So it's a cool story that reminds us and humbles us, kind of like an earthquake or a volcano, that no matter how much we do, yes, we do have an impact on the Earth, but we're not as in control as we think we are, and also we don't know as much as we think we do. Third story I want to talk about today is a cartoonist and a political artist. His name is Ben Garrison. Got invited to the White House summit, but actually had his White House summit, invitation withdrawn because they said that his cartoon was anti-Semitic when it wasn't. I wanted to talk about this, and also for those who are asking, no, I didn't get invited to the White House summit. It's all good. My foot is still a little hurt. I still can't walk, so I don't know that I would have went anyway. But overall, those are the 3 stories, so let's get into them. So the founder of BET, also known as Black Entertainment Television, shocks probably a lot of people who only dial in on the mainstream media, celebrities, and people who regurgitate the same 3 talking points when they don't make sense. When he came out on CNBC and he said something that a lot of us are feeling, a lot of people who either were centrist, even people who lean right, lean left, we've been trying to say for 2 years, but nobody listens, calls racist, sexist, xenophobe, Nazi, whatever, any sort of name they can throw on us. He said that the Democratic Party has moved way too far left for him and that, he doesn't even have a candidate in the race. Take a look for yourself.
And walk me through, when you take a look at the Democratic field today, who's looking good to you? Because you have a long history of the Democratic Party at your fingertips. Who looks good today?
Right now, I'm not taking a position on the Democratic Party. I've long time been a centrist in terms of Democratic politics. The party, in my opinion, has moved, for me personally, too far to the left. And for that reason, I don't have a candidate in this particular, in the party at this time.
Even this chart from the New York Times kind of explains that. You could see how Republicans or right-wingers over time have moved, and you could see the left wing or the liberals. And even in this chart, I would say is inaccurate because look where they put the center line. That's absolutely ridiculous, bananas, and biased. But you get the point looking at the data. They've moved incredibly far left. And BET founder Bob Johnson's not the only one saying this. Check out this clip of Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz talking on Morning Joe about why he doesn't want to run as a Democrat. It's because the Democrats went too far left for him and he doesn't really agree with any of the things they're talking about.
And he could seriously damage our ability to beat Donald Trump. He should either run as a Democrat or spend his time and money doing something that won't ruin the world. That's from Jim Messina. Why not just run as a Democrat? We know you are a Democrat. You've given to Hillary Clinton. You've supported her candidacy.
I have been a Democrat, but I am.
So are you no longer a Democrat?
No, I'm not a Democrat. I don't affiliate myself with the Democratic Party, who's so far left, who basically wants the government to take over health care, which we cannot afford, the government to give free college to everybody, and the government to give everyone a job, which basically is $40 trillion on the balance sheet of $21.5 trillion. We can't afford it. What can we do?
And you could see how they treated him on Morning Joe, and you'll probably see how they'll treat the BET founder. If you say this type of stuff, basic common sense, in the kindest, most reasonable way possible, you've moved too far left. I don't know what you're doing. What you're doing nowadays is even 20 times as crazy as what 2014 Obama did. They look at you like, oh my God, you're racist. Oh my God, you're sexist. Oh my God, you're crazy. Oh my God, you're the biggest Trump supporter in the world. You're far, far right.
But not all Democrats want Medicare.
I want to help
You're citing Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. Not all Democrats want Medicare for all. Why couldn't you get in the Democratic race and make the case you're making right now as a centrist Democrat?
Because I think the country needs transformation. The government needs to be disrupted. It's not working. How much evidence do you have? Give me one thing. Show me one thing in which you can say firmly the government is really working. We don't have the shutdown of the government for a month. 800,000 people not working. What's working?
It's like, no, not everybody is. Some people are right-wing. Some people are libertarian. They don't like taxes. They like the First and Second Amendment. You know, they don't care what you do socially. Some people are conservative and right-wing and Republican. Some people are centrist, and a lot of people are left-leaning like a Howard Schultz or a Bob Johnson, and they're saying, you can hate on me, you could try to threaten me. I'm not saying they're saying that specifically, but you get what I'm saying. It's like everyone's afraid to say it, because if you say it, they're all of a sudden trying to ruin your life. But it's like, you guys are doing ridiculous stuff. So thank you, Bob Johnson, for highlighting that. He also complimented Trump's economy, which they ignore. But you could see with this clip, during the Obama years, they were like, look at the unemployment, look how high it is. But now that it's solved and it has gone way down, all of a sudden they want to move on to different topics. Take a look.
Talk me through a little bit, how do you feel about the economy today and where we're headed? Because a lot of people have been very, very worried, obviously, about this U.S.-China trade spat. The G20 seemed to quiet down some of those fears. Where do you think it's headed?
Well, I think the economy is doing absolutely great, and it's particularly reaching into populations that heretofore have had very bad problems in terms of jobs, employment, and the opportunities that come with full employment. So African American unemployment is at its lowest level, Hispanic unemployment, women. So I give President Trump, and I've said this before on Squawk Box, I give President a lot of credit for moving the economy in a positive direction that's benefiting a large number of Americans. I think the tax cuts clearly helped stimulate the economy. I think business people have a little bit more confidence in the way the economy is going, and I think it's beginning to have some impact globally.
And on that note, I want to remind you too that Bob Johnson earlier this year talked about other accomplishments that President Trump had that you'll never see on television. Take a look.
This program will put close to $800 billion back in the retirement pockets of minority Americans. So I just want to applaud you for that.
And this is the BET founder. Why won't they put this on urban hip hop shows? Why won't they put this on celebrities' Instagram accounts? Why don't they show this to the left or the liberals to be like, listen, you may not get your way about all these things, but at least we have this. At least President Trump did prison reform.
Gregory. Hi, Gregory. Mine is real short. 2 months ago, I was in a prison cell, and I'm in the White House. Let's continue to make America great again. That's great.
They don't want you to see this. And somebody like myself, I don't care who does it specifically, but at a certain point, you become unlikable, you become hateful, you become bitter, and you become like Bob Johnson and Howard Schultz are trying to warn you, somebody that nobody wants to vote for. So good luck winning the next election, attacking Americans ruthlessly who don't agree with you while making no improvements for yourself. Thanks, Bob Johnson, for laying that little bit of wisdom and truth there on television. We appreciate you very much so.